Lewis, Charlie Rood here. Art Lewis contacted us this morning, and unfortunately, Art not doing well, under the weather, as they say. He's not alone. You're hearing about a lot of people who, unfortunately, are taking ill. So, Art, we said, go back to bed. Let's get healed, and maybe we'll try again tomorrow. So we, again, wish him well. We appreciate your patience with that. So I'll be sitting in for Art this morning, and including this hour. But we have a couple of special guests that we want to talk to this hour. And let's introduce our first guest, as he is from the Saginaw Spirit, the president and managing partner, Craig Goslin, who is with us. Even though, Craig, your hockey team is on the road for the longest road trip of the season, 6 games, the first 2 already taken care of this weekend. You're home to take care of other Spirit business, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and we're glad to have you as a viable replacement, Charlie, for Art. You'll do a great job as always.
You're very kind. As I said to Craig off the air, we're going to the fourth line in hockey vernacular. Hey, there's always things going on. As much as we talk about the Spirit and what happens on ice, that's the bottom line. It's the on-ice product. But there's so many things that go into the Spirit and the organization and things that you are involved with in your community relationships, your business relationships. And we have another guest on the line. And Craig, I'm going to let you do the honors of why are we talking to Mr. John Lowry. If you can do the introduction and kind of guide us into the conversation that we want to have here this morning.
Yeah, John Lowry is the CEO of Applied Innovations and founder. It's a Grand Rapids a company that has done significant things for the community of Grand Rapids and all the areas that he serves. John Lowry, Casey Lowry, his son, they're the way they do business, just the way they treat people aligns perfectly with the Garber management team, with the Saginaw Spirit, and when fans come into our building and see smiles on faces, when people do business with Applied Innovation, they see that same type of service and that same type of care and actual love for their clients and the people they do business with. That's why we align so well with them, and why we're making a major announcement with Applied Innovation, Saginaw Spirit, and the Dow Event Center here today. So with that, I introduce you to the CEO of Applied Innovation, John Lowry. John, welcome to the show here.
Good morning. Glad to be with you guys.
John, we appreciate your time this morning. Hey, before we go any further, just a little bit background perhaps on you and Applied Innovation, just to let folks know, because you've been around for a while, and kind of give us a little history, a little background of where you started to where you are today. Certainly a growing business.
Yes, and we really started from nothing. Very fortunate to be what I guess you could call an American success story. Started really with 500 of my own dollars. I borrowed $5,000 from my father, and against the wills of my wife, we took a line of credit out against the equity in our house. And we had eight employees to start, and I think that first year we did just about $1 million in revenue. And a lot of people look at our company today and they think, oh gosh, you guys have always been this size, and it's really not the case. I mean, it took us a lot of years to grow. I think that first 16 years, a lot of tough years, lots of Wednesdays when I would say, or Thursdays, I'd say to my wife, I have no idea how we're going to make payroll. And through God's will, we've been very fortunate that always something happened where a customer would pay, or we were able to sign a lease and get a check and deposit it and make payroll. And we've been around for just about 40 years now. And we grew from that $1 million that first year, which was 1987, to 8 employees to now 620 employees, and we'll do about $170 million. We're in Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, and also Florida.
And this is a business that, if I remember correctly, John, and please correct me if I'm wrong, though, when you started, you actually had a different name, but you updated it just a couple of years ago.
We were Applied Imaging Systems and really involved in just all things print. So copiers and printers, and that was the core of our business and how we started. And as we looked, at what was going on with printing, we didn't want to end up like Kodak, who thought that film was going to be always around, even though they had the digital technology. They didn't lean into it. And so for us, we kind of looked at the business forecast and what was going to happen with the printing side of things. And if that declined, what would we do to replace that revenue? So we started to diversify, and we got into the IT business. We got into software business. We got into document management, as well as shredding and medical waste, all of those other businesses, so that we could offset any loss on the printing side. Now we're still growing on the printing side, but we've got into these other businesses. And when we looked at it, we said, what company is going to want to buy IT from a imaging company? And so in June of 23, we changed our name from Applied Imaging to Applied Innovation. And that made it easier for us to sell some of those offerings.
So if I were to say to you, John, to where you are today here in 2026, and I said, what's your primary service to businesses? And when we're talking businesses, are we talking big, small, everything in between?
Everything, from Fortune 500 right down to a mom and pop. And we really built it just, selling one machine at a time.
And again, for your primary services, that when people are in need of applied innovation, I think you mentioned a couple of them, but just kind of give us that rundown.
Yes, so copiers obviously is and printing. So copiers and single function devices, which are printers. That's the main part of the business. That would be about 85% of our revenue. Then the IT business is about 10% of our total revenue, a little bit more than that, about 13%. About 1% in shredding, and and when I say IT, that would engulf AI. That would include anything from your server room all the way out to your laptop and even your phone or your desktop, all kinds of softwares and phone systems, virtually all things technology, I think would be a good way to say it.
It's a big umbrella. John Lowry there, the CEO of Applied Innovations. And Craig Goslin, the president and general managing partner of Saginaw Spirit, we're talking to this morning. I'm going to take a quick break here and come back. Craig made a reference when we were introducing Craig, and he talked about how Applied Innovations just aligns so nicely with the Saginaw Spirit and the goals and the community support and ensuring that businesses and patrons are always going to have smiles on faces and work is done properly. And a major announcement. We'll get into that after we take our break and come back and let you know what's going on here on the Art Lewis Show. Charlie getting in for Art this morning here on WSTW. It's 9:20.
We're proud to make
Art Lewis Show on WSTW with Art not feeling well today. Charlie Rude here sitting in for Art. It's 9:25. Special guests that we're talking to this morning. And that would be Craig Goslin, the president and managing partner of your Saginaw Spirit Hockey Club, and John Lowry, who's the CEO of Applied Innovations. And Craig, let's get back to you here to, now that we've had a chance to talk to John and set up what his company's all about. And as you said in our first segment, just so aligns nicely with the goals of the Saginaw Spirit. But we're talking to John for a special reason today. Craig, why don't you get into that for us this morning?
Yeah, no, it was because of the relationship that we've got with John and Casey and Applied Innovation. We approached them with a major opportunity at the Dow Event Center. Dow has the naming rights for the Dow Event Center. And over the years, Dow, in their lease, in their agreement with us, has allowed us to name other parts of the facility with other naming rights partners. The Joliet Credit Union Event Park, as well as now the Joliet Credit Union Celebration Room, are two examples of that. And with that, we're grateful to the County of Saginaw with Mary Catherine Hannon, the administrator, Jack Tanny, the chairman of the board of the county commissioners, all the county commission, and our partner, Legends Global, Kevin Murphy and his staff. We all work together to create this unique opportunity for Applied Innovation and for our community as a new naming rights partner for the Heritage Theater at the Dow Event Center. So it's an exciting time for us. Applied is a major community supporter in every community that they serve, and they're just going to be deeper with us in our community, more brand awareness for them, and also with the charitable initiatives that they do. One of the parts of this whole thing is a more of an emphasis on a program called A Kid Again, which John is a major part of. And what A Kid Again does is they work with children that typically have been handicapped in certain ways, and they give them a day of joy. They give them a day where they can take a cost-free adventure with their families and laugh and connect and feel normal again. And we're going to be expanding upon that with Applied Innovation, with their naming rights here in Saginaw. So we're so excited about it. This is another opportunity to get a major player to come into our community to invest in Riverfront Saginaw. And we couldn't be more thrilled to have Applied Innovation as part of our team.
Wow. John, congratulations on what will now. What do we have the official name? Will it just be the Applied Innovation Theater at the Dow Event Center, or do you know what it's officially going to be called yet? Or
that's it right there, the Applied Innovation Theater. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, John.
No.
And I guess I would ask you. So, how did this come together? Maybe John, I'll turn to you. How obviously, as Craig said, you have a relationship already, but how did it come to the point where now that Applied Innovation will have the naming on the theater?
Well, Craig and I have been friends. It feels like we've been friends our whole life.
Yeah, it does.
We get along so great, and have our values really align. But we've been involved, I would say, just about 5 years with the Spirit, and as that starts to grow, other opportunities pop up. Like Craig talked about A Kid Again. They've been very supportive of that, and as Craig started to talk about everything that's going on with the Riverside project, we wanted to be involved however we could, and this is one way that we can give back to the community and help support it, along with supporting the Saginaw Spirit, which is Craig and his team do such a great job of not only building a tremendous club and a tremendous team, but they're building great men too. So whether these guys are going into the NHL or they're going into other walks of life, they're really positioned to do well. And so those are the kind of things that, just like A Kid Again, these are kids that may be terminal. They spend a lot of time in the hospital. The parents are spending all kinds of time with child care. And what we try to do with that is align events where the parents can get a little bit of a break and the child can have a fun time too. And Craig's seen it at some of the golf outings that we've had. You listen to these kids talk, and they do a way better job than Craig and I do on the radio. I mean, you listen to their story, and tears start to come to your eyes. So those are the kind of things that I think is fun about. It's great to be successful in business, but I think it's almost more fun giving back.
Craig, can you kind of tell us, the business relationships, and the Saginaw Spirit have many of them, but this elevates it to a whole nother level, and it also includes, we're talking about the theater, the Applied Innovation Theater, which points out to the fact of just what happens sometimes at the Dow Event Center, that you get a Spirit game in the arena, and then you could also have an event going on in the theater at the same time, and that place is, the excitement level is there, and it's really packed with people down there.
Well, and John Lowry and Applied Innovation, they've been very involved with what's happening in Grand Rapids. Those of you that have seen the Medical Mile in Grand Rapids and seen the amazing amount of philanthropy that went into that, and consideration for just about every component of Grand Rapids. We're attempting to do the same thing at Riverfront Saginaw, and we need people like John Lowry to advise us, to show us the way, right? And that's what we're hoping that we can do here at Riverfront Saginaw with the Medical Dime, with the CMU College of Medicine coming in here now, and with all the stuff that Dr. Sam Shaheen has done. All these things play a role, and to have Applied Innovation and the Lowry family here to help us along the way is a major support system that is going to do nothing but pay dividends for our community. And so why do we do these things? I guess the main thing, it's all about community. And I think when you look at it, the work that Applied Innovation, they got ads all over your radio station there, Charlie, and with testimonials from their clients. These are people that have been doing business with these guys for a long time, including us and Garber Management Group. And the way they treat people is exactly the way we want to treat them. And it's like John says, we're completely aligned in so many ways. And this is not just great for the Saginaw Spirit. This is great for our community because of what the Lowry family brings to the table.
And when does this actually, is this started already? Or when does signage go up and things like that? How does this, what's the timeline?
The signs went up. We're going to have a press conference here in the distance. We're actually going to do it tomorrow, but it looks like we're going to postpone that because of the weather. John had a bunch of his people coming in tomorrow from Grand Rapids and Detroit and elsewhere, and the weather looks like it's not going to be conducive to do that. So we'll be announcing this, I guess, in a bigger way in the future with the media and the like. But we thought we would get this out front here now because the signs are up. The signs are up on the theater now, and so people can know what's going on. Then we'll introduce Applied Innovation to our community at that press conference when we reschedule
it. And John, it sounds like, as Craig said, that your people will be involved in that announcement, and as opportunities allow, I would assume. I mean, you're just not a company with naming rights; you're a company that's involved.
That's right. Yep. So our entire marketing team, along with some of the family, my son Kyle, who. His kids are big hockey fans, and we're all hockey fans, and they play, and so he was going to come and we'll get that scheduled so that here in the future, Kyle, Casey, and myself can be there, and we're super excited about the sponsorship.
Have you thought about the way that this will play out with some of the shows that come into what will be the Applied Innovation Theater, John? It's just all encompassing, obviously. Whatever's going to be on stage is going to be under the Applied Innovation Theater name.
Yep. So we're very excited about that, mostly because it's such a great thing for the whole Saginaw community. It's been there. I think the name Heritage, says a lot about it. It's there's a lot of heritage. There's lots of years that it's been there already, and we can just be a part of that, and we're happy to play that part.
Greg, just going back to you, and just again, I know we have just a couple of minutes left here. Obviously, busy things going on for both of you gentlemen, but it is nice to have an announcement of this magnitude, and just again, it goes back to the relationship that I know the Saginaw Spirit have been a part of since you first arrived on the scene. And for those who aren't aware, when it comes to business relationship, the Saginaw Spirit across the entire Ontario Hockey League are most well known for your ways that you team up with corporate interests. To help out not just on the business end, but as you said, also on the relationship end. As much as it's a relationship with business, it leads to the relationship with the fans and the families.
Well, and Charlie, you hit the nail on the head there. I mean, all relationships are built on trust, and I think that for the last 24 plus seasons, the Garber Management Group, Dick Garber, the way he does business, everything about Dick is about building trust. And that's what we've got, certainly with Applied Innovation. They're the same way with their clients and with their vendors, everybody they do business with. And I was in their office in Grand Rapids a few weeks ago, and John kind of showed us through and showed us the amazing amount of technology that they've got. There's so much that they do other than just printing that it's amazing. It opened up my eyes to how much we can do to partner with them. We want our community to recognize that they have options to who they do business with, and we hope that they'll consider Applied Innovation when it comes to all their technology and printing needs. And that's kind of what we're going to be doing. Our side is asking our clients, our community, to consider giving Applied Innovation a shot. And certainly we've done that with Covenant, with My Michigan, and others. We're doing that with Dow, and certainly that means a lot to us. We just need to win for them so that they can continue to give back to our community. John mentioned the Heritage Theater. Basically, we're going to keep the Heritage Theater, the theme of Heritage Theater with a huge, large plaque. It's a 4-inch plaque. That's going to be a bronze plaque that's going to be lit like a piece of artwork in a gallery, and it's going to basically recognize the history of Heritage Theater. That's going to be placed in the theater lobby, and so it's going to be. We're going to continue honoring what the Heritage Theater meant to so many other people, and now called the Applied Innovation Theater. So there's and we appreciate John for allowing us to do that.
Well, John, I'll give the final word back to you here. I guess I'd say congratulations, and nice to know that when we're talking about things that are happening at the Dow Event Center, as much as we talk about Saginaw Spirit Hockey, we talk about other shows that are going on, and I'll be able to say happening in the Applied Innovation Theater. So congratulations, and thanks for being with us for this special announcement, sir.
Thank you, Charlie, and thank you, Craig. We really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you both this morning and talk about so many great things that are happening in Saginaw.
And Craig, again, we appreciate you having a chance to get together here with John, and we'll look forward to when you officially will do a chance to get the news conference and the media together to make a big splash and let folks know what's going on.
Thanks, Charlie. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to let the guys get going here because, they have busy things to do on their day. But John Lowry, the CEO of Applied Innovation, Craig Gosselin, the president and general and managing partner of the Saginaw Spirit, with his big announcement, Applied Innovation Theater, that you'll now see at the Dow Event Center. And, Craig made reference, and for those who listen to WSGW, certainly we have a relationship with Applied Innovation, too, with some of the marketing and advertising that's run. And it is fun to hear the personal stories from the actual clients that are part of that campaign that can talk about just how much that Applied Innovation has helped their businesses in so many different ways. I'm going to come back, take a break, do a little open line for you up until 10 o'clock here on WSGW, The Art Lewis Show. Charlie in for Art this morning on WSGW.
Gotta go.
Saginaw Spirit and John Lowry from Applied Innovation for the conversation we had and that special naming announcement of the Applied Innovation Theater that you will now enjoy your shows at the Dow Event Center. Real quick on the Dr. Martin Luther King Day, just as a reminder, it is the third Thursday in January. This is actually the 40th year. It first happened in 1986. Officially, President Reagan, I think, signed the bill making it a federal holiday in, 1983, and then by the time it was properly put into place, 1986, so this is the 40th year, although not all states were honoring it. That didn't happen until, I think, 2000. I'm trying to remember my history offhand. But so you don't have markets are closed today. Markets are, agricultural and financial markets are closed today. No post office, no mail delivery today. Financial institutions might be closed. This is one of those kinds of days where you say, call ahead if you have any kind of official business to do, because there could be some differences. Same thing with even some schools. Some schools were shut down just because of the weather this morning. You might find some that were closed for this day as well. Speaking of schools closed because of the weather, if I'm not guaranteeing, I'm just throwing it out for conversation's sake. I wonder whether it's going to play out tonight and into tomorrow, especially with some of the wind chills. That might cause some school messages. Don't know. Just throwing out there for speculation as long as we're talking about that and what's going on. Of course, most schools do directly contact families now when it comes to school messages, although we do team up with our friends from WNEM TV5 for online messages. If you still need to check, we have a box at WSTW.com, and you can do that. 9:45 is our time on WSTW. I think Scott from Saginaw is shouting in this morning, so let's do that now. Scott, good morning. What's going on, sir?
Well, I thought I'd talk a little bit about the mental illness that seems to have gripped the Democratic Party. Over in Minnesota, we had the teachers union send out a note to, I think, 3,500 teachers saying, pick your side for this protest. So they are closing down U.S. public schools to protest ICE. Makes absolutely no sense. So they're going to punish Americans because they don't like law enforcement. And then on top of it, you have Tim Walz, who's talking about ICE, calling them Gestapo, saying they're killing people, they're murdering people. So what does he want the people to do? Get their cameras and videotape them. Now, if they were really a threat, I don't think that would be the correct advice to do. Like if we have somebody who breaks out of prison and they say these people may be armed and dangerous, law enforcement comes out and says, stay in your homes because there's some dangerous people out there. They don't tell the people, hey, people broke out of prison, get your phones, go record them. So it just doesn't make sense what these Democrats are doing. So far as I'm concerned, Tim Walz is just doing this to get the focus off him and the corruption that is his party in the Democratic state there of Minnesota. So with that, what you think on it?
I'm looking at it from afar and wondering how many times I've seen these kinds of things happen before and how many times I've heard the rhetoric. Different language, different rhetoric used, but history repeats itself. Not in this exact same way, Scott, but in ways that you could apply to what's going on. And I seriously, I sit back and go, here we go again. What's the issue? What is the focal point? What's the trigger? And let this side do what it's going to do, to what you were talking about on the Democratic side. And, of course, on the other side, I'm going to tell you, too, I look back and the Republicans, of course, are going to be supportive. And now we have the opposite ends. What's going to happen next?
I don't really remember staged protests like this where Republicans were in multiple cities on multiple days for multiple weeks attacking multiple police agencies. I don't remember that in my history. Maybe I'm reading the wrong history books, but I just don't remember that. It's usually Democrats that are blowing stuff up, shooting people, killing people. There are Republicans that do it, but in a mob, it's Democrats. Just like it wasn't Republicans who went into the church in Minnesota and disrupted it. Those were lunatic Democrats. Why do they got to go into a church? What does a church praising Jesus have to do with ICE agents capturing illegals? Nothing. These people are nuts. That's just my point. This Democratic Party has lost its way. Most of them now, it looks like they actually have some type of mental illness. And I'm not saying that lightly. It's just these people wake up in the morning, they hate Trump. I talk to them at work. Not one thing can they say about Trump is positive. They want him dead. No rational person wants somebody else dead. So with that, I'll leave it alone. I'm just really, really saddened about watching the Democratic Party go down.
We appreciate the call and your opinion. That's what it's all about. And I'm not discounting some of the things that you said. It just, I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. There are a lot of things that have been going on for as long as I have been alive that I have seen that's happened. And it's gotten to the point where sometimes I'm not sure what to think anymore. And I'm paying attention. I'm going to tell you that right now. However, some of the attention that I pay and the conversations I engage, I do so selectively, let's say. It's 9:50 on WSGW. We'll take more calls if you want to choose to get in. We'll take our break and come back with more in just a moment.
Get ready for an unforgettable
Art Lewis Show, again with Art off